Today we're talking Festool dust extraction. One of the core benefits of the Festool system is the dust extraction, and that's why they have the packages pairing the dust extractor unit with a tool as a first purchase, because the dust extraction is such a core of the system. In fact, the only tool that doesn't have a dust extractor port are the cordless drills. Everything else of Festool has the dust extraction port for use with the Festool dust extractor. Today I'm going to go ahead and show you just a couple of the tools with the dust extraction port, how well they work, getting rid of dust in your shop. I'll give you a quick tour of the dust extractor I'll be using, and then we'll get straight into the action. This is my Festool dust extractor, the CT36. Now I'm not going to get too much into the details of this. I want to focus on its use with the tools. But very briefly, it's got variable speed suction. It's got on, off, and auto tool triggered. It's got the port to plug in your tool. And it filters down to a 0.3 micron. It is a full certified HEPA unit. Now I have mine with the boom arm, which I really like, which brings the hose up over top of my work. So let's go ahead and hook it up to tools and start cutting. First up is the TS55, which can create a ton of dust. Right here I've got a chunk of 8/4 walnut. Big chunk here, 8/4, and I'm going to go ahead and rip off some strips. It's about 1.5 feet long, so I'll go ahead and set up my guide rail on top of that. Set up the TS55, hook it up to the dust extraction. We'll show with and without the dust extraction. After that single cut through this 8/4 walnut, let's take a look at the amount of dust not picked up. Barely any on the table, right underneath, a little bit there that fell out, and a little bit that got sprayed out the front. And that is it. Everything else was picked up. Though I'm loath to do it, let me go ahead and show you what happens when I take this dust extractor off of this TS55 and how much dust will come flying out of this port. This is the exact same cut as last time. You can see how much dust is coming out here on the rail, down on the floor behind the saw. Just a huge pile of dust coming out of that port. So yes, I went ahead and picked up the dust created by the TS55 off of my floor. With the dust collection, was about the same for each of them. Coming out the front was just this little amount, and without the dust collection, this amount. So that is the TS55 on this piece of walnut. Now I was using a 36mm hose on the outside of this port. Of course you can use a 27mm hose which goes on the inside of the TS55 port. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to the Rotex sander, and we'll use it on the top of this same piece of walnut so you can see the dust extracted via the Jetstream technology on the Rotex. So I've gone ahead and hooked up a 27mm hose to the outside of the sander. Only 27mm hoses will work with the sanders, and I've got a little pigtail here that plugs into my 36mm hose. Also, I want to turn down the variable speed on my dust extractor. If I have it on high, the air being sucked through here will pull the sander into my piece of wood, leaving excessive scratch marks. So I've gone ahead and turned that all the way down so the sander will just float on the surface. I'm going to throw a 60 grit paper here onto the Rotex pad. We'll put it in Rotex mode to remove some serious amount of wood and check out the dust created. Let's go ahead and disconnect the dust collection and see how much dust is created. After just a couple of seconds, you can see the dust swirls starting to build up. Let me run it a few more seconds and watch the dust fly. You can see from just a few seconds without collection just how much dust is created. Let's go ahead and put the collector back on and pick up that dust. So that gives you a quick idea of how much dust is getting extracted through this Rotex sander. You saw how aggressive I was going on this piece of walnut with the 60 grit paper in Rotex mode, and just how little dust is created when you're using this system. Of course, always wear your dust protection. You can't see the fine particulates that are being thrown into the air, but this system gets rid of all that dust you can see, making it faster, easier, smarter. And finally, I'm now going to use the OF2200 router and route a rabbet in this piece of walnut, and we'll check out the dust created. The rabbeting bit I have in here is about 3/8 by 3/8, so a really big rabbet here on the edge of this. I'll run it for a little bit with no dust collection. We'll take a look, and then I'll go ahead and throw on the chip collector and turn on the dust collection and see just how much it'll catch. After routing that rabbet about 8 inches, here's the amount of dust thrown onto my floor. Now let's go ahead and finish out the rabbet with the chip collector on the router. With the dust collection on and the chip deflector in place, I routed another 8 inches or so of that rabbet, and let's check out the dust on the floor. That is just about 0. So routing the same length of rabbet with dust collection, that's about what I could find on the floor, and without dust collection. Hold on, wait, another one. So there is a quick look at using the dust extraction on these 3 tools. Does it pick up everything? No, it doesn't. But does it pick up 95 to 98% of the dust created? Absolutely. Festool spends a lot of time making sure that the dust extraction port on their tools work extremely well, leaving your workshop just a lot cleaner and making it a lot safer environment to work in.